Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the only deck that you'll ever need in Clash Royale. If you master this deck like Igor, the world champion from Team Liquid, you can play this for years. On the final day of the season where everyone around him was playing champions, he still played this at 26 in the world at over 8,300 trophies. When you have Rascals, Dark Goblin, and Guards, you're gonna have so much log bait that your opponent won't be able to hit everything. And because your bait cards on defense will always generate a positive elixir trade, and because your opponent will be down elixir, they'll have to worry about the Dark Goblins, the Guards, and the Bats in front of the tower. So they'll ignore the miner, giving you 400 to 500 damage every single time. The best thing about this deck is how often it allows you to be on offense, because you're always getting positive elixir trades on defense. And Mortar pairs perfectly with this strategy too. You're always able to be on offense while defending your opponent's Hog Riders and Balloons. The Mortar will lock onto the tower, dealing 350 damage per hit. This is one of the best decks to learn in Clash Royale, because if you can manage your elixir and placements correctly, you can beat any deck in the game. So let's go jump right into the action in the brand new season in Assert Dominance. A whole lot of love to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to support the channel. Here we go with one of the most reliable decks that Clash Royale has ever witnessed. I think the first thing that we want to do is just cycle Bats in the back and see what he's going to do. I don't like going in for Mortar when I don't have Cannon Cart, so I'm not going to Mortar first play with this deck as much as I would usually, because if you play against Electro Giant and they go other side, yeah, your Rascals aren't going to be able to put in enough work to shut that down as reliably as you would want. I got to go Rascals earlier so I don't leak too much elixir, and it's looking like we're playing against 2.6 Hog Rider, so you want to go same side as your opponent, going for the Mortar in the same side, and then get a lot of value afterwards with your miners counter pushing and locking onto the tower. Actually, isn't the deck that I thought. It's not going to be 2.6 Hog Rider. It's going to be the Giant Skeleton version. So I need to play this a bit different. I need to log on top of all of his stuff here. Hopefully kill the Giant Skeleton before it locks onto my tower. And then always go opposite lane, unfortunately. Because I can't let him break through my Mortar and get value with his Earthquake on top of it. So my Mortar, if it goes on the other side, I can get a bit better value there. So that's why we're going to be doing that. We can push his Hog Rider into the Mortar and then have the Earthquake not be able to hit my Mortar. But if I Mortar in the same side, the Earthquake is always able to hit the Mortar and the tower at the same time. So that's why we're going to be going opposite side for the most part in this matchup. We'll see how well this works out for me. I'm going to try to get away with like Dark Goblins and Guards on defense as much as I can. So it's unfortunate that he's going to go in for Skeletons here, forcing out another log for me. Smart strategy on his end, but it is what it is. I can use Bats on defense plus log to counter the Hog Rider if he doesn't have an Ice Golem with it. So that will also be pretty good. If I Mortar aggressively, I expect him to go in for a Hog Rider on the other side, and then I can get away with Bats. If he Hog Riders in the same side, that's also very good for me, because then the Hog Rider gets too close, so then the Mortar locks onto the tower, dealing 350 damage per hit. That's what we're looking for. If he goes in the same side as me for the rest of this game, it's going to be scary. So this matchup is not actually that great in the late game. I wonder if the Dark Goblin locks onto the tower. Oh my gosh, he's going to go in for a huge push with the Giant Skeleton on the left-hand side and just eat that damage. So whenever your opponent does that, you take your damage advantage, and you're like, okay, I have to defend now. I have to focus on everything on defense. I'm not going in.
My old enemy stares.
I'll go in for Guards here, and then maybe I'll go in for a Mortar on defense on the other side if I need to, but I'm not going to apply that much aggression. And now you guys are noticing that I applied aggression and I'm kind of faltering a bit. I think that the Bats should be able to shut this down, and I can go in for Guards, but it was risky, you know? It was a bit of a risky maneuver. We're playing with fire. I thought I would get back to Rascals or Guards there, but I wasn't paying too much attention to my card cycle, and I almost got punished. So he's going to go in for a Fireball. That was a great play on his end. I need to log that so then we can hit the Musketeer so then it doesn't finish off my tower. I'm going to go in for Bats here with the Dark Goblin. I hope that the Dark Goblin locks onto the tower, and it does. Beautiful. Dark Goblin giving us the damage, and I can Fireball on the Musketeer so he gets no counter push with it, and then we also maybe even keep a Bat alive. Doesn't work out in our favor. Okay, so since I'm going same side, this is pretty bad for me. I'm going to go in for Rascals here, and then I can go in for a Mortar whenever I want after we can kill this Giant Skeleton. So the reason why I'm trying to kill the Giant Skeleton before it crosses is we don't want the Giant Skeleton to tank for his Hog Rider, so we can kill the Hog Rider a bit faster. Just a huge problem if he's able to do that. Okay, so we actually... Oh, I thought that the log was going to push the Hog Rider away from our tower. Fortunately for us, that didn't happen. I can go in for a Miner and a Fireball on top of whatever he drops here. If it's a Giant Skeleton, then hopefully we get it down faster. And we do. It's a beautiful sight to see. We're going to log, and we're going to go for a higher Mortar. And because he doesn't have Earthquake, we could have actually went same side as him and had a much better matchup. But I didn't know that, so I just played safe rather than sorry. He can't go in for a Hog Rider in time to finish off the tower, so we're just going to be able to Fireball him and walk away with a win. GG, well played, and it was a pleasure taking your trophies, dude. As you guys can see, Hog Rider Giant Skeleton is one of the best decks in the game, and you are able to beat it if you go opposite side of the Earthquake players, and you're able to go in for bats or guards on defense plus a log to eviscerate the Hog Rider. I want to go in for guards here on offense as my first play. Don't really want to cycle my mortar, as I said before, and this guy's going to have Royal Ghost. So I think it's going to be a P.E.K.K.A deck. If we ever get lucky enough to play against P.E.K.K.A, we have an amazing matchup. Because if you go in for Battle Ram or Ram Rider, we've got Mortar. If you decide to go in Bridge Spam into me, we've got Rascals that you can't necessarily break through with any of your cards. So I'm pretty stoked and fired up for this one. Looks like it's not the matchup that I thought originally. So I'm going to use my Dark Goblin on the other side, try to protect it with our Rascals. And then I didn't have guards because I dropped them earlier. Ooh, really interesting that he missed the arrows there. Okay, I'm going to go guards on offense so that I can hopefully kill the Royal Ghost a bit faster. Our guards are able to outrange it, and then I might be able to get some damage onto the tower as a result. Nah, not quite. So, looks like I overcommitted with the guards there. I think I would have had to drop them anyway, but would have been a bit better to drop them later. He's going to have a Golem deck, and I'm down in a bad spot. This is not a situation that I would want to be in, guys. If I go in for bats, and I go in for a log, I'm able to kill the Dark Prince. So let's see if we can claw our way back into this game stance. I'm going to log that as quickly as I can, and then I'm going to go in for a miner on top of the Elixir Collector. It's a high chance that he's going to be able to body block this, but if he doesn't, then we're chilling. No! Okay, if I fireball that, then I'm able to get an extra hit on top of the Elixir Collector, right? No, I didn't even get that. Oh my gosh!
The wilderness must be explored!
If he goes in for a Golem, then that's scary, but he's got Mega Knight, so this is a trash card, and you guys won't ever have to worry about it. At least we can show you how to beat Mega Knight. It's kind of a weird card to see, but it's not something I'm scared about. I can go in for a guard surround and probably shut this down relatively easily, and then save our Rascals for the other side for his Dark Prince and his other stuff. So notice how the Mega Knight might give him some damage on our tower, but he's not even going to go for a zap, so he doesn't get that. I'm going to miner in front so the Dark Goblin has a bit more protection, and then I can Fireball on top of the Elixir Collector. He's going to arrow. That makes sense. I would do that too. Even though you were up so much Elixir, it's all going to get shredded on defense by our stuff. Our bait cards are just too cost effective. If we can play it correctly, I'm always going to be able to defend you. Okay, so we haven't seen anything that is extremely good against bats, so I'll go and cycle my bats into that. Maybe he'll go and whip out a random wizard, but I think we'll be okay. We'll have to wait and see, though. Okay, so he's got Hunter. I think I'm going to go for a miner on defense, so the Mega Knight jumps towards that instead, and then I can go for our guard surround afterward. These guards might be able to pop off and finish everything off. Good stuff, good looks. I'm going to go in for bats, so then the Hunter surrounds completely clean, and then it doesn't get a hit. I want to go in for Dark Goblin, Rascals at the river, and then go in for a Mortar, because it's really difficult for him to defend this if he doesn't have his huge thick boy in cycle. So we'll see what he decides to do. Looks like we should be able to shut most of his stuff down and then Fireball here after going in for guards on top of the Mega Knight. Because everything's damaged down, so the Dark Prince's shield is gone. So if we Fireball it, I don't think it gets a single hit. I need to go for bats here, so the Mega Knight's going to jump onto my tower. I don't think I have any answer to that, unless the bats are clutch. Oh, bats, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Driving our opponent batty out here with this defense. Again, he's cycling his Mega Knight in the back, so I can go in for Mortar aggressively, and then follow up with a Miner in the back, and then go for guards plus bats on defense here. I think I'm going to be okay. We might even be able to bait out the arrows on the other side. 3 Musketeers? What are those? I'm going to log that. They should all die a bit faster than he's ready for. I'm going to let that lock onto my tower because it doesn't matter. I can get bats up top, so if you go for arrows, you're not able to hit everything at once. I think some of the bats should stay alive. And I'm going to go for a miner to push that off. No, this is really bad. I shouldn't have taken that much damage. The Musketeers, those 3 Musketeers are the only thing that screwed me over. I wasn't ready for that as a potential card combination. Wow, this game is coming down to the wire. You know what? I take the challenge and I rise to the occasion. We're going to go for the Mortar. We should be able to shut that down. The Mortar might even lock onto the tower because the Royal Ghost doesn't get illuminated in time. That's good. This is really, really, really good for us. He's going to have to arrow this, and then I can keep the Mortar alive. All we have to do is get that Mortar shot, and we will walk away with a win. I'm going to go for an aggressive Mortar again. Should be able to shut the rest of our opponent's stuff down, and maybe I can Fireball and log if we get one more Mortar shot. Please, baby, give me the W. That's what I'm talking about. Holy cow. Super scuffed start, where my stuff just wasn't working out the way we wanted to, and we came back with the fury. Shows you that this deck is reliable, especially against Mega Knight decks if you guys are playing against Mega Knight and mid-ladder, and even if they have 2 Elixir Collectors down with Mega Knight, they will never be able to break through this deck's defenses. Here we go. So after that insane comeback that we made, I feel like we can't get much better than that, but we'll try. I'm going to go for guards off to the side to get slightly more damage than dropping them directly down the middle. And this guy's going to go in for bats. So whenever I see bats, I'm expecting this to be a fast cycle deck as well. We have no clue what it's going to be exactly, but I'm expecting you to go and bombard me at the river with some wall breakers or something along those lines, or maybe a Hog Rider. Dark Goblin, is that going to lock on a tower? Not quite. So I'm going to go for Rascals on the same side. Even if he goes in for a log, it's okay, because I can go in for an aggressive mortar here with bats and miner as well. So I always want to get counter push with my Rascals or whatever I'm defending with, so that's why I'm going for my miner here. I want to be able to protect the Rascal girls if possible. Or can we kill the Musketeer? Yes, we can. Beautiful. Going in for the mortar here is optimal, and then going in for guards depending on what he does, the body block, because his arrows are out of cycle. Oh, it's Giant Graveyard.
Bring it on.
This is a tough matchup. This is not easy, but I think we can make it work if I play well enough. I'm going to go for a Dark Goblin in the middle. He doesn't have arrows in cycle, so this is quite good for me. I think that we should be able to shut the rest of his stuff down with just Rascals off to the side, making sure that we connivingly spam him and cycle as much as we can before you're back to the arrows. What are you going to do? Are you going to have a card that I'm not ready for? That's a mini P.E.K.K.A. That's not a good card for us to see at all. It's really funny for us to see that. Okay. Did we get the Rascals to finish off the Musketeer? I think so. The Rascals are also going to deliver a couple hits on the tower too. Awesome. So since I'm up Elixir, you never really want to allow your opponent that's running Giant Graveyard to feel comfortable cycling a huge Giant Graveyard push. So what I'm doing is, as you guys are seeing, I'm spamming a lot of Elixir, so he's always at a low Elixir count. So he's defending with Giant, but he can't supplement that Giant. He's just going in for arrows when he can afford it. And in the meantime, I'm able to get a whole bunch of damage with the mortar, keep his Elixir low, so he's never able to go in for Giant Graveyard pushes. So as you guys are seeing, I'm dropping my Elixir when I'm at 7. When I'm at 7 Elixir, that's when I'm cycling my stuff, because it's always going to be a better trade for me then. I'm going to go for a miner. Maybe I can pre-log a Skeleton Army. Yeah, I should have pre-logged a Skeleton Army. I knew it was coming down. Maybe the bats can still walk onto the tower, deliver us something. Okay, I'll take that trade. If I go in for a mortar on defense here, that could be good. I'm going to go in for guards on offense as well. Keep up the aggression. I hope that he can't afford a giant, because then he has to defend the guards. Oh, he drops the giant there. Yo, this fireball value.
Fire in the hole!
Insane. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So I can go in for a log here with the Dark Goblin super far behind. I think I might be able to even kill the rest of his stuff. If I can get Rascals down, he's not going to be able to break through, right? The Rascals should be able to stop that. Please, Rascals, come up clutch. Man, this is one of the few bad matchups in the game for our deck. He's going to have Skeleton Army. I got to pre-log it again. I don't know if the guards are going to be able to break through and lock onto the tower, but I have to hope. No, he gets a Musketeer down in time. So yeah, this matchup is really coming down to the wire. I think I played it about as well as I could have. I go in for a Dark Goblin here. That could work out well. I'm going to go in for this. Rascals. Log. Got to go guards with the Dark Goblin there. Maybe follow up with... No, I don't need to. The guards should be able to shut everything down. He dropped a bad graveyard placement. Okay. I kind of vibe with this. If I have to go Rascals, it's unfortunate because the bats would take out my tower. I'm going to go aggressive mortar here. He probably Musketeer, so I'm going to make a prediction.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Oh, he drops a Musketeer in a weird spot. That's interesting. I didn't expect him to do that. I really didn't expect him to do that. Oh, no. It's going to get a hit, though. It's going to lock onto the tower now. Wait, I can totally vibe with this. If I get guards down and he tries to make a prediction like that, he's going to mess up and the mortar locks onto the tower, hopefully. I can go for a secondary mortar. Wait! Comebacks, guys. I'm telling you right now, I'm made of them. I'm a believer out here. The mortar got a shot. All right, I'm going to go in for a miner here. I'm going to try to make a prediction and then fireball and just eat the Musketeer damage. I wasn't able to push it back, but that's enough damage for me to win if I can just stop his Giant Graveyard. I can just stop his Giant Graveyard. I don't know if I can, though. I got to go, like, mortar here, bats, and log. Oh, my goodness. This is really coming down to the wire because we know he's going to snowball. I need to be able to get enough damage with the fireball. I think I got it. No way. We beat Giant Graveyard with arrows and snowball. This deck slaps. I can't believe that. So if you keep up the aggression, you can make anything work. So at the very start of the game, this guy already rushes through with Royal Recruits. Pretty absurd play. I'm not a huge fan of doing that as a Royal Recruits player myself, because if your opponent's got Mega Knight, or maybe they've got a lot of splash damage, the counter push that you're going to have to face is something that you don't want to see. Anyway, we've got like the scuffed version of the Royal Recruits with our guards. Should be able to stop everything, and then I'm going to follow up with a miner here.
This is for mama!
I don't want to go for bats because we don't know if he's going to have arrows with this version. A lot of people are having arrows and Barb Barrel, or arrows plus fireball. Oh my gosh, the Mother Witch is going to die to the Dark Goblin. That's painful for you. You drop 4 elixir for 3, and then you lose it. Man, that's awesome. So I'm going to go Rascals all on the left-hand side. We'll see what he decides to do. Okay. Yeah, I think I got to go and build up a big push. Usually when they've got Mother Witch, they're not going to have Fireball in the deck. For the most part, they're going to end up having, like, small spells. So that's why I felt comfortable dropping my spam all on one side. Wait, what are you doing? You're just going to eat the entire mortar? And you're going to go in for an Elixir Collector in the back? If I lose this game, I'm going to lose 1,000,000 trophies. So I really don't want to lose this one. I'm going to log, and then I think that the Dark Goblin should be able to clean the rest of his stuff up. I don't even think the Dark Goblin's going to die. Oh, no, it will, because the Dark Goblin was targeting the other side. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, so I wonder if the guards protect the Dark Goblin. Guards, you literally have guard in your name, and you're not going to do that for me? Come on now. He's going to spam mirrored up Royal recruits at the river here. So I think Rascals should be able to defend everything. I love that you've got the built-in ranged card and you've got the built-in distraction. Sometimes you get bad card cycles and you're like, well, I have a Dark Goblin here. Am I supposed to defend Elite Barbarians with that? Probably not. Okay, here's the redemption arc against Three Musketeers. It was way too close last time we played against it. This time should be a bit easier. I want a Fireball on this if he stacks up a lot of stuff, and it looks like that's going to be perfect because we're able to shut that down. Now I'm able to go in for Bats here. And then go for Dark Goblin, kill the Musketeer since the mortar targets onto that. I don't even care if you go in for your spam with the Mother Witch. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't do that much damage with the piggies. I can log pretty effectively here, and then know that the Dark Goblin's going to be able to finish off the other side. If he goes in for a mini P.E.K.K.A, guards are going to be coming up clutch, and I'm going to go in for a mortar instead of dropping any other bait cards, because he could hypothetically get back to a Mother Witch. So I don't want to give him that presence of being able to get more piggies for no reason. Super easy Fireball. Let's go. I thought that the Musketeers might walk up a little bit, so I decided to not Fireball the tower there. Okay, so he's going to go and spam in the right-hand side, right? He has to. No, he's going to spam in the left? What? Seriously? You're going to give me the value with the log in the lane that I was already going to defend? Okay, I'll take that trade, man. GG, well played and peace out. It was a pleasure tearing your towers to pieces and destroying a mirrored up Royal Recruits deck with Mother Witch. Like, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.